Tonight, we're exploring the power of a voice, specifically, the unique and vibrant sound of Filipino English, a voice that almost went unheard on the world stage. For years, this accent was dismissed, mocked, and unfairly labeled as broken or incorrect. Many Filipinos grew up hearing that their way of speaking was something to be ashamed of, not celebrated. The world seemed to believe that only American or British accents deserved a place in international conversations, in boardrooms, or on television screens. This belief forced millions to hide their natural accent, to practice and perfect a sound that wasn't truly their own. It created a sense of distance from their identity, as if their voices needed to be changed to be accepted. But then, something remarkable happened. The United Nations made a bold and unexpected choice. They selected a Filipino to deliver a critical address to the world. This moment wasn't just about one person standing at a podium. It was a powerful statement, a challenge to the old rules about who gets to be heard. Suddenly, an accent that had once been ridiculed and sidelined was chosen to speak for the world, to represent not just a nation, but a new era of global communication. The UN's decision directly challenged the long-standing prejudice that one accent is superior to another, and that only certain voices are worthy of respect. For millions of Filipinos, this moment was deeply validating. It was a recognition of their way of communicating, their culture, and their place in the world. Filipino English is more than just an accent. It's a story of resilience and adaptation. It's the story of a people who took a global language and made it their own, infusing it with their warmth, creativity, and spirit. For decades, that unique identity was misunderstood, even within the Philippines. Debates raged about what proper English should sound like, and many felt pressure to conform. But the world is changing. Cities are more connected, and cultures are blending in ways never seen before. Today, diversity in language is increasingly seen as a strength, not a weakness. Different accents bring new perspectives and new ways of understanding each other. The UN's selection of a Filipino speaker was more than just a headline. It was a turning point, a signal that the world is ready to embrace new voices. A voice that had long been relegated to the background finally stepped into the spotlight, proud and unafraid, and for the first time, the world was truly ready to listen. Not just to the words, but to the story, the culture, and the heart behind the voice. To understand this moment, we need to look back at history. English in the Philippines began with American colonization, when schools taught that the correct way to speak was the American way. Generations grew up believing their own accent was a flaw. This led to linguistic insecurity. People became self-conscious about their pronunciation. The melodic rhythm of Filipino English was judged as inferior to American English. In schools and workplaces, a Western accent was prized. Those who could mimic it were seen as more sophisticated. This bias reinforced the idea that sounding Western meant success. Media and comedians caricatured the Filipino accent, deepening the stereotype. The result, millions felt their natural voice was something to be corrected. It was a heavy burden for a nation of highly proficient English speakers, but that burden was about to be lifted. While some obsessed over accent, Filipinos mastered English in their own way. Filipino English is warm, polite, and focused on connection. In global industries, customer service, healthcare, maritime, Filipinos excel because of their clarity and empathy. A Filipino nurse in London isn't effective because she sounds British, but because her English is compassionate and clear. The distinct, syllable-timed rhythm of Filipino English makes it easy for non-native speakers to understand. The goal isn't to sound American, it's to be understood by people from all over the world. This sincerity began to change perceptions. International colleagues noticed conversations with Filipinos were relational, not just transactional. The accent once mocked became the sound of a competent, empathetic communicator. Filipino English isn't just spoken, it's spoken with heart, and that made all the difference. The United Nations General Assembly Hall, where history is made, where the world's most pressing issues are debated, and where the voices of nations echo through time. This grand chamber has witnessed countless moments that shaped the course of humanity. On this day, the world faced a crisis unlike any before. Tensions were high, uncertainty filled the air, and the need for unity was greater than ever. The United Nations, as the heart of global diplomacy, needed a voice that could bring people together, a voice that could inspire hope and action. They turned to Dr. Althea Reyes, a distinguished Filipino diplomat known for her wisdom and poise, to deliver the keynote address. Her selection was not just about her credentials, but about her ability to connect across cultures. Dr. Reyes was celebrated for her clear, distinctly Filipino English, a voice that resonated with authenticity and pride in her heritage. As she approached the podium and began to speak, the vast hall fell into a profound silence. Every delegate, every observer, leaned in, eager to hear her words. Her delivery was calm, measured, and sincere. She spoke from the heart, making no attempt to mask her accent or adopt another's manner of speech. Her authenticity was her strength. In that moment, Dr. Reyes connected with every person in the room and with millions watching from around the globe. Her words transcended borders, reaching people in living rooms, offices, and classrooms worldwide. Her speech was a call for global cooperation, but it was also a masterclass in the power of genuine communication. She showed that true connection comes not from imitation, but from embracing one's own voice. Diplomats found her message easy to follow. Her clarity and conviction made her words resonate deeply. The power of her message was amplified by the sincerity with which she delivered it. When she finished, the applause was thunderous, echoing through the hall and beyond. It was a moment of unity, a rare instance when the world seemed to breathe as one. The ovation was more than just praise for her eloquent words. It was a recognition of the courage and authenticity she brought to the stage. Dr. Reyes proved to the world that authority and trustworthiness are born from clarity and authenticity, not from conforming to a particular accent or style. In that moment, she represented a new understanding of global communication, one that values diversity, sincerity, and the unique voices of every nation. The world listened and was deeply moved, inspired to rethink what it means to truly communicate on a global stage. A new standard had been set, not just for speeches, but for the way we listen to each other in a connected world. After Dr. Reyes' speech, the internet erupted. Social media trended with the Filipino voice, and clips of her address went viral. People worldwide praised her clarity and calm delivery. For Filipinos, it was a moment of immense pride. The accent they'd been told to hide was now celebrated. Young Filipinos mimicked her lines with confidence, not mockery. International media analyzed her speech, and experts praised her style. What was once seen as a flaw, the syllable-timed rhythm, was now recognized as a feature. The narrative was changing, not just online, but in respected forums. Filipino self-confidence soared. The old colonial mindset was challenged. Young people felt empowered to embrace their identity. Dr. Reyes became a role model, not for erasing her accent, but for owning it. The digital applause was more than chatter. It was a stereotype shattering in real time. The world was finally listening, and Filipinos were finally heard. Dr. Reyes' speech didn't just spark pride, it changed perceptions. Philippine English, long recognized by linguists, was now seen as a legitimate world variety. Its clarity, politeness, and unique rhythm made it ideal for global communication. The UN speech showcased Philippine English's effectiveness on the world stage. Businesses and organizations began to value the Filipino accent as an asset, not a liability. The idea of a single, correct accent started to fade. The Filipino experience became a leading example of world Englishes. English is no longer the property of native speakers, it's a global asset. The focus shifted from, "Do you sound American?" to, "Are you an effective communicator?" By that measure, Filipino speakers consistently rank among the best. The world standard was changing, and the Filipino voice was leading the way. The impact of that speech rippled far beyond the Philippines. Countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America saw it as a victory for all non-native English speakers. If a Filipino accent could be celebrated, why not theirs? Teachers and trainers shifted from accent reduction to accent appreciation. The Filipino example showed you could succeed globally without shedding your identity. Companies began to value fluency, clarity, and empathy over a neutral accent. The Filipino model opened doors for talented individuals everywhere. The story became a source of inspiration, a testament to the power of authenticity. Other nations began to see their own English varieties as strengths, not flaws. The Filipino speaker at the UN didn't just give a speech, she started a global conversation. Identity, acceptance, and true communication were now at the forefront. The world was ready to listen to every voice. Filipino English's journey, from mimicry to mastery, is profound. For decades, the goal was imitation. The highest praise was, "You don't sound Filipino." People tried to erase their accent, believing it was the only path to success. The UN event marked a shift. Mastery isn't about imitation, but about clarity and authenticity. Dr. Reyes exemplified this. She used English with precision, in her own voice. True mastery is making the language serve your purpose, not fitting a mold. This new perspective is liberating. It lets speakers focus on message, tone, and connection, not just pronunciation. The Filipino voice, now celebrated for its clarity and warmth, is a testament to this principle. Young leaders are embracing their identity and becoming more effective communicators. Their voice is not a barrier, but an asset. The world now wants to hear what they have to say. This story is about more than just one accent or a single country. It's about the invisible threads that tie us all together, no matter where we come from or what language we speak. It's about rediscovering that communication is about connection, not perfection. True understanding happens when we open our hearts, not just our ears, to one another. For too long, we judged voices by accent, not by message. We let unfamiliar sounds create distance, forgetting that every voice carries a story worth hearing. The celebration of the Filipino voice is an antidote to this old thinking. It reminds us that every accent is a bridge, not a barrier, and that diversity enriches our conversations. Empathy, clarity, and sincerity are the true universal languages. When we listen with empathy, we discover the humanity in every word, no matter how it's spoken. The Filipino accent is now a symbol of trustworthiness and friendliness. It stands for patience, warmth, and a willingness to help. Qualities that transcend borders. The lesson is clear. Judge a voice by its ability to connect, not by its accent. The real value lies in the sincerity and intent behind the words. The world is a symphony of voices, each unique, each valuable. When we listen to this chorus, we realize that every voice adds a new note to the melody of humanity. The Filipino voice has shown the power of authenticity. By staying true to itself, it has inspired others to embrace their own voices no matter how different they may sound. Next time you hear a different accent, listen for the message, the warmth, the human connection. Let curiosity replace judgment, and you'll discover new worlds in every conversation. The Filipino voice is celebrated not because it changed, but because the world changed how it listens. We have learned to value authenticity over imitation and connection over conformity. And that is a hopeful note for us all. It means that every voice, no matter its origin, has a place in the global conversation. The world is finally ready to listen, to every voice, to every story, and to the beautiful diversity that makes us human.